and we are live.
Acting foolish, overdressed, confusing the crowd. You won't see me at this bar again. Happy hour habits, lost my feet on the ground. Whiskey 7 on my cardigan. Last night, they in my clean slate. And I got nothing but enemies now.
Coming to you live from the great state of Wisconsin is the Overdue Sports Team. I am your host, Will Massa. To my right is my co-host, as always, Jake Sawinski. How we doing, buddy?
If you look under my name, I hate the Missouri Valley Conference. Totals. I'm the dummy who's betting overs in some of these, and it's like there's just no reason to. Stupid. But I'm not going to let it ruin my day. Having a good day.
Yeah, I'm off to a rough start. I mentioned this in the first show because we were right at the halftime for Radford and had the plus 11. It was looking pretty good. They were up 2 at halftime, and they got punched in the mouth in the second half on a 10-0 run to start, and High Point never looked back. They just dusted them.
Mm-hmm.
It was just an uncompetitive half. So I'm in the hole, but hopefully picking back up.
Yeah, I heard that. It was a little weird.
What is that? Sorry about that.
I got
ESPN playing out of the computer.
Oh, nice. I got the under. That was cool. But then I gave it right back with a crappy over. Missouri State just didn't play in the second half. And it was the same thing with what was the other stupid total I did? Over in brain fart. Just lost it. Yeah, I'm dead serious. I just lost it. Longwood and Winthrop. There we go. Yeah, that one was probably not right either way, but whatever. William and Mary, the Tribe. Hell yeah, good bet. One undefeated in the Colonial so far. We got Hampton too, so
we got Hampton rolling. We gave that one out on the last episode, but we're covering more college basketball conference tournaments today. In this one, we got the America East, the Southland, the Big Sky, and the Summit Leagues. We got a lot of mid-major action to go over. We're gonna kick off in the America East with we got 8 teams that are in. We got Vermont as the 1 seed, minus 290. UMass Lowell plus 370, Bryant plus 800, New Hampshire plus 2,500, Binghamton, the golf course plus 5,000, Maine plus 3,000. UMBC plus 6,000 and good old Albany plus 7,000. This is actually one of the few conference tournaments that there's no bye. Vermont and Albany play straight up tomorrow. So there's no buys in this one, and they kind of just play straight through. It always seems like the 2 teams in this one are always Vermont and Lowell. That's pretty straightforward. Yeah. Bryant is sometimes in the mix. I don't think they're going to be this year based on what I have seen.
Well, Bryant's always in the mix, but they were in a different conference. They were in the NEC, which is why they were always in the mix. So I don't know if they've right. I'm not trying to step on your toes there, but you're right. They're always in the mix, but just not in this conference. And that's going to continue this year. They're not happening, I don't think. But yes, I do agree. It always seems to be Vermont and Lowell. And I don't see that changing. I don't know if you do, but I do not.
No, this one is not very better friendly. I usually like UMass Lowell. I really liked them last year, and this game was a war in the conference final. But I'm not big on Lowell this year. I think Vermont stayed the course from last year, and Lowell took a pretty significant step back. I think Vermont is going to handle this tournament pretty easily.
Yeah, I think so too. But are you talking about the conference tournament game last year? Because I think I bet Vermont on Sunday and they thumped them. They thumped Lowell pretty good. Yeah, I mean, that game last year, I remember watching that conference tournament game last year. That was super fun, and I think we're probably going to get a rematch. I don't see any big surprises. Just looking at the odds, to me, like I'm looking at Bryant, like 9-1, 10-1. That's super generous because I don't think that team's that good. Like the coach is the constant there, like with most schools, but like Peter Grasso, I think his name is. That's the only thing about Bryant I know. Like, that's usually not a good sign. You know what I mean? Like, they don't. I don't know anything about any of these teams except that Vermont is really good. And to be fair, I do think they did take a little bit of a step back, just like in our minds, because last year I've kind of fell victim to it. I thought Vermont had a real chance of beating Marquette in the first round of the tournament last year, and I think who knows where they line up. They might have another good game if they end up winning this tournament, which I think they will. But yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. I wouldn't be surprised if this one was completely chalk until the final game. And I would like Lowell in a betting spot. Maybe not on a future because I don't think they're gonna win. I think Vermont's clearly the best team in this conference. But like I said, Lowell did lose pretty badly to Vermont the last go around. And I think this is a conference where they play home games too. There's not a neutral site, correct?
No, the higher seeds are the home teams,
and they play at home. So you can probably book this one. It's going to be Vermont. Like the championship game will be against Lowell in Vermont. And if it's, I don't remember exactly how much they won by. I know I laid like the 6.5 or the 7 with Vermont. I think that was Saturday or Sunday they played, and I laid the points. And if it's higher than 7 or whatever it ended up closing at, that's probably all she wrote. But my point is, I might if it's less than 7, I might take the points with Lowell just for that game. Otherwise, I mean, I don't see myself betting a ton of these games. Like UMBC's plus 10,000 on DraftKings. They're bad. Like this whole conference is really, really bad. But if you do like one long shot that will not hit, I like Maine. Just trying to find something to talk about here because I like seriously, this one's going to be rock chalk. But if you want to lose, hey, throw $10 on a long shot. Maine. They just muck it up. Like if they can score 50 points and keep the other team from running away, who knows? I guess. But
I'll be curious to see what that. I'll be curious to see what that line is tomorrow. They play at Bryant tomorrow. It might actually just be a good spot to bet Maine against Bryant. But I would agree, yeah. If you're looking at a long shot, that's probably the team to do it on. I wouldn't do it with New Hampshire or Binghamton.
See, like Binghamton's very frustrating for me in my head because like I like betting on them. Like they've been very good to me when I do take them on the spread, but they're not good. Like none of these teams are good outside of Vermont, especially, and Lowell. Like, I mean, I won't say Lowell's bad, like because they're not. Like relatively, they're not. But the rest of the teams, yeah, good luck. I mean, maybe that's a viable strategy. Ignore Vermont and Lowell and just bet the other underdogs money line, and maybe you'll get one upset. I don't really know. Like we're really grasping at straws to even talk about this conference. And I thought we did a pretty good job. You might not have gotten any smarter, but you did hear some conspiracy theories on how to bet the American East Conference.
The conspiracy theory of Maine as the 6th seed. Yeah. Just for shits and gigs, if you really want to have a dog in the fight, you might as well.
Yeah, like it's just not happening. But we can move on to another riveting conference as we talked about before. Yeah, the Southland.
We got the Southland. Again, another 8-team tournament. McNeese and Texas A&M Corpus Christi get a double bye as the 1 and 2 seeds. We got McNeese at minus 240, Corpus Christi at plus 280, Nichols plus 1600, Lamar plus 1100, Sela plus 4,000, Northwestern State 10-1, Texas A&M Commerce 20-1, and New Orleans 30-1. What are we doing here?
Waiting for Will Wade to win this tournament and then take a job somewhere else.
Yeah, I 100. Dude, he's a good.
Yeah, he's
coach.
a good skipper. He just got in trouble, like ironically, like 2 years before the NIL stuff started. Yeah, he's a good coach. He's a really good coach, and
Someone's gonna grab
yeah.
him.
Oh God, yeah. Like how about a team like Oklahoma State or um, one of those struggling Big 12 or SEC programs, like who's the guy at Georgia, Mike White?
Mike Snow White. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Snow White. Like, I don't think he's doing that bad of a job. Like, Georgia was really bad, and now they're just kind of bad. So they're doing much better. But like Mississippi State's in a good spot. Aside from like even South Carolina hasn't been very good for a long time. Maybe like a team like Vanderbilt. Like I can't imagine Jerry Stackhouse's shelf life is very good. I mean, he's not working with no. Like the great NBA player, but like the coaching, it's not clicking there. It's not clicking at Vanderbilt with like for anything really, minus baseball. But yeah, I mean, we could do story time with Will Wade and more conspiracy theories about where he's headed, but I think this one's pretty chalky too because like McNeese is actually good, and I'm clicking on.
They're really solid this year.
Yeah,
and Corpus Christi has been like decent.
Yeah, like they
years.
typically win this conference.
Yeah,
because this is Will Wade's first year coaching at McNeese. He just got the job. Yeah,
Corpus Christi won it last year, right?
Yeah, they backdoor covered against Alabama, 26.5. I love Corpus Christi. I discovered this team 3 years ago, and I rip their overs. I stopped this year because they're definitely not as good. But I can't even pull up the odds, and I don't even think it's worth it. It's it's McNeese. I don't see a world where. The only thing I will say is McNeese has not been playing great as of late, covering wise. So if you see a short line, I wouldn't be surprised if they struggle a little bit. Not last Saturday, but the Saturday before, I took the 26.5 against Incarnate Word. It's a little close, but we got it. I know they struggled against New Orleans, I think it was New Orleans, the last week or earlier this week. But I mean, you're probably just gonna have to read that line to see if it's double digits all the way. I don't know. Corpus Christi might be. What did you say Corpus Christi was? I can't even look at it. My
plus 280.
Yeah, that would be the only logical bet from me. I don't know if you have anything else. You can bet these teams to cover just because it's a circus. This conference is a circus, and it's a 1-day tournament. So, or a 2-day tournament. It's 2 days. What?
Yeah, they kick off
games.
Yeah,
Sunday to Tuesday,
on Sunday
right?
The championship's on Wednesday, but yeah.
Yeah, 1 day wouldn't work. You're not playing 2 games in a day, but yeah, you know what I mean. It's super short. It's nothing to this conference, but yeah, McNeese or Corpus Christi, I wouldn't even entertain thinking about betting anyone else. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I think that's about it. That conference is the first 2 conferences in this one are both pretty chalky in my opinion. I think we'll see the 1 seed in both.
Yeah.
Moving on to...
I do want to say, if McNeese does win, if you're doing your brackets, take them.
Yeah.
Take them. I think this is the one. There are a lot of solid, mid-major teams, but, just by the coach factor, this might be the best one. This might be, a great opportunity to get some points in your bracket pool or whatever. But be wary. If everyone else is doing it, don't. But if I'm the only person saying that, it could happen. This McNeese would probably be a 12 or a 13 seed, I'd imagine, because they're pretty solid. I mean, what's their record? 25-6 or something. Yeah, they'll be a higher seeded low seed. I would not be shocked if they beat whoever they played the first round. I would not be shocked if they were in the round of 32.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they competed with we talked about this game earlier this year, and I'm blanking again who they played.
It was it's an SEC team, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was really early in the year, and they nearly snuck it out. No, was it
or a Big 12 team?
Yeah, who on earth?
It has to be like a Texas school or something like that. Maybe it was like, I don't know. You'd have to look because I'm trying to.
Yeah, I mean they beat up on Michigan early on.
Yeah, they're dog shit though.
Yeah. Yeah, but either way, I mean, I do think that's a good look in round one. Depending on who they draw, they might have a good matchup, and coaching goes a long way in March. So
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they play one of those teams, like if they play a Power 5 with a less than reputable coach, but like a decent team, don't be surprised.
No, I'm 100% serious. Like if McNeese makes it, which I'm assuming they will, like the only other team that probably Corpus Christi, but I will put McNeese moving on. I don't care who they play. If they win this tournament, they are moving on to the round of 32. Don't even play the game. I'm just kidding. But no, I like them. They're a good team. And like the coach factor goes a long way because you could have some bozo coaching these guys and they'd be half as good. Like Will Wade will not be there very long unless he gets like blackballed by the NCAA. Like that guy is destined to be at a Power 5 job. Hey, maybe Michigan will fire him or fire Juwan Howard or
that should be coming too.
Yeah, I already got Chris Holtman gone. Next up on my Grim Reaper list, I'm just the meme with going door to door. Next is Juwan Howard. Mike Woodson's after that. I want those two guys gone. They're bad. I've ranted about Mike Woodson like last week or the week before. He's ruining Indiana basketball, even though not like the last couple of weeks because they've been playing much better. As soon as I wrote him off,
as soon as they re-signed him for another year, and they right before they played Wisconsin, and they beat him.
Yeah, like that guy's a dumbass. Like, I'm sick of that guy. He gets fired up though. Like he gets pretty mad out there, which I do appreciate. I love when the coaches like get so hopelessly irritated. Like Fran McCaffrey from Iowa is my favorite. That guy's just a nuclear warhead. Hang on, I dropped my pen.
Moving on to the next conference, we got the Big Sky. Eastern Washington holds the 1 seed and betting favorite at plus 200. We got Northern Colorado at plus 550. Montana plus 310. Weber State plus 300. Montana State plus 1600. Portland State plus 1700. Northern Arizona 10-1. Idaho State plus 2500. Idaho 10-1. Sac State 20-1.
This one had a lot of movement from what you said because I'm looking at the Action Network odds right now, and a couple of them are shorter, a couple of them are longer. I mean, the Northern Arizona is 15-1. You said that.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that's sticking out to me is the Montana Grizzlies. Now plus 272 from where you said. So you're getting some.
I like that play.
There. Yeah, I do too.
I usually really like Eastern Washington in this conference. I think that is the familiar team to most people. Them and Weber State are typically like
Weber State. I would say is definitely number one just because of Dame Lillard. But yeah.
And last year they're a different team from last year. I mean, last year I believe they won 20 straight to start the year last year. This year they have not been as good, but they're still a really solid team. But I think you're right. I think the Grizz of Montana are the best look here, and I think they have the best path to do it. Being the 3 seed, they're on the bottom half of the bracket, so they won't even face Eastern Washington until that championship game. So we're already seeing some steam brought that down a little bit from 310 to what did you say, plus 280?
It's like 272. I mean, I'm not sure how accurate this is. It's
sure
ever changing, but that one stood out to me. Even Weber State at plus 300 is another one. And I mean, I'm just looking through, like Montana State won this conference last year. I don't see that happening again. Even though they did beat Cal. Give them a trophy. They did beat Cal. Northern Colorado is a team that I feel like could steal one. I don't think they could win the whole tournament, but they could be really annoying. Like you're from Colorado, so I'm sure you're a little more familiar with this team than I am, but I feel like all they do is shoot threes.
They do, and it's tough in a conference like this because obviously they do take a lot of home games with the altitude factor up there in Greeley. I've watched this team a couple of times, and I've not really been impressed by them. They are a big shooting team, so yeah, if they get hot, I wouldn't be surprised if they stole one or two.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at the end of the day, I really think the best look here is Montana. Eastern Washington, I think, can easily stumble in one of these. I mean, you're getting a 1 seed that's plus money, and the 3 and 4 aren't far behind them. I think that's kind of telling that they think they're going to stumble. I would say Montana is the best look out of this conference.
Yeah, I feel like they are the steadiest of these teams. Like, I feel like, I don't always bet the Big Sky just because it's like that weird weeknight start time. It's like 8:30. Sometimes, I had a pretty poor 6 o'clock. You just kind of overlook this and, okay, something shook out. I'll play something in the Pac-12 at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock Central Time. But Weber State, I feel like, wins games scoring 45 and wins games scoring 70. Like, you just don't know what you're going to get with most of these teams. And, like, I feel like Eastern Washington is a lot of the same way, except there are more points. It's like they'll win scoring 60 points or 85 points or 100 points. Like, they shoot threes, too. They can put up points in a hurry, too. But, like, I think Montana is the steadiest of them. Like, they might not run you out of the gym, but, like, their not great basketball is good enough to beat anybody in this conference. So, like, I think we're in agreement there. I wouldn't play Eastern Washington. I just think they can stumble. And they're not an overwhelming favorite. So I think, like, Weber State or Montana do have some life. So, I mean, if you were to wager on any of the top three, I think you'd be okay. Maybe play Northern Colorado money line for the first game and see if that works. Like, that's as low as I'd go. Like, Montana State is at plus 2,000, looks very enticing, but they're not the same team as they were last year. I mean, they rolled last year. I think they beat, like, Texas. Or no, they've made it the last 2 years. I think I mixed it up. They lost to Kansas State last year, covered. And then I think the year before, I think they were a popular 12-5 matchup, and when Mark Adams was a coach at Texas Tech, they won by like 40. Like, Montana State got trucked. They might have just broke the program. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're in agreement there. I think Montana's a really, really good look.
Yeah, I agree. One thing to note, Eastern Washington did sweep them in the regular season. So that could make the championship game pretty interesting. They beat them pretty handily in both games. So I'll be looking at that one. I mean, it's a neutral site. This tournament is played in Boise, Idaho. Big advantage
maybe don't do North Colorado then.
Yeah, we get a little advantage for the potatoes. They might travel. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement. I think it's Montana is probably the best bet. And if you're looking for one more, Weber, I think is a good look. They play good defense. They do. They play crazy slow though. Like, you gotta really lace up the bootstraps to watch them play. Like, it's gonna be boring.
Virginia-esque. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But like, we're in East Washington's a good look too. Like, don't get us wrong, but like, one of those three, I would have to imagine, make it out of there.
Yeah, 100%. Now we get to move to the Summit League, where the defending team, Oral Roberts, who was a very popular pick against Duke last year, and they got they got waxed in that game. I believe I bet on Oral Roberts in that game, and not good. They're the 8 seed. So we got South Dakota State as the 1 seed plus 130, UMKC plus 750, North Dakota plus 800, the Tommies plus 300, North Dakota State plus 1,500, Omaha plus 1,300, Denver plus 1,400, Oral Roberts 3,500, and South Dakota 13-1. There's a couple of weird teams in this conference, but what are your initial thoughts on this one? This one's also neutral site, played in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
I might just bet South Dakota just to say thank you for the good year they've done. Like I've gone to the well with the South Dakota and short lines, and they come through every time. I'm very grateful for South Dakota, so I would gladly waste $10 on them winning this tournament because they're not gonna. This is one where I wouldn't be shocked if it's chalk again, but South Dakota State being plus money is a little weird to me. That's a little strange. I mean, they have been. When did they go to the tournament last? 2021, when they still had Baylor Shireman transferred to Creighton. Was it that year? Yeah, they did. They played Iowa, didn't they? Yeah, I think they played Iowa. I don't remember.
I'm using you for the callback. That's one I don't know.
I think they played Iowa. But yeah, this team's good. Like Jackrabbits can play. I'm kind of dumbfounded that they're plus money. Tommy's being plus 300 is a little unusual to me too. Like they seem short. They
rip at the Schoenecker. That's usually like a system play for me in this conference. Is like I take them at home and then I just ignore any game they play on the road. Usually they stumble. It's surprising to me that if the favorites win, that it would be the Tommies and South Dakota State in the semifinal, and they're still plus 300. But I think that's pretty indicative of this tournament. Like I think a team from that top half is going to get through. I don't really like UMKC to win this thing. They're
weird.
They're really weird. That number is probably going to be really appealing to people as a 2 seed. I don't know what they're at right now, but
that's long. That's long for a 2 seed. I feel.
Yeah, you see plus 700-ish.
Yeah, they're like, ooh, let me snipe that. I'm getting a good deal. No, you're not.
I agree. I do like South Dakota State a lot in this one. I think if you want to play a dark horse, if you want to play a sleeper from that bottom half of the bracket, maybe look at Nebraska Omaha plus 1300.
Yeah, I was gonna say Omaha's. Like I feel like they can do anything. Like
they're back and forth too. They've been really frustrating for me to bet on personally. I know that you're kind of in the same boat.
Yeah, well, I mean that was just one time. I'm not an exclusive Big Sky better, or excuse me, Summit better, with the exception of South Dakota, which they have no snowball's chance in hell of winning this tournament. But I like North Dakota. Where are they seated?
They are the 3, so they're in that bottom half. They play Omaha in game 1.
Okay, maybe not then, because they're plus. I'm seeing plus 800, 825.
Yep, that's what I'm
saying. That's
saying.
probably a little too long too, but like they're like a rock fight, muck it up kind of team, and that bodes well in these tournaments. Like because the shooting goes cold, and you know the jury's out on whatever the other teams are doing. You got plenty of tape, and you know you've played them. Most of the time, a conference field this size, you've played them twice. Like you know what they're all about. So, like I mean, a team outside of the favorite, like I said, the Tommies look a little weird. They look short. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Like if you're gonna play a long shot, I mean, I would strongly advise against it. Except South Dakota, I endorse that. Omaha, I'd probably be the only other one because like I think they could rattle off a 3-game stretch where they hit 15 threes, not 15 but they hit 10 threes and make 20 free throws and everything's going in. And like don't be surprised, be careful with the totals, because I don't be surprised if one team wins 90-89 and then the next game they win 51-50. Like you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I mean that's really the reason. I think the reason why you like North Dakota is the same reason why I would say that Omaha is a good long shot. I just feel like they have the ability to just like muck this whole thing up and just be a 6 seed that makes a run. Like they're just that kind of team. But yeah, I South Dakota State at plus money is a little suspect to me, given that that's a team that I would clearly target here. So that is a little fishy, but I still think that's a good look.
Yeah,
they're going to come out of this thing.
We're talking about, other bets you could make, and it's probably as easy as one or two best odds on favorites. Gun to my head, though, I'd probably pick St. Thomas.
Yeah, I like that play.
It's just short.
But are they eligible? They're not eligible yet, though, for the big dance.
Oh,
they still have another year. Yeah, they still have
do
another
they?
year. But yeah, they've got another year in the sin bin for transferring up.
I thought are you sure? I'm not sure. I thought it's been a couple years.
Is this the year? I thought they had one. I thought this was their last year.
Oh, they played a D1 schedule 2 years ago. I remember I bet them against Milwaukee one day. Damn, I'm still sad about that.
I thought last year was their first year with a D1 schedule.
I could be
wrong on this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they're not eligible for this. And if they're not, that is a decent angle to look at, like those teams that just have nothing to lose.
Yeah, like Merrimack. Perfect example.
Like Merrimack, yeah. They're in that boat again.
Or like Queens, had they not lost to Stetson, or Bellarmine this year. Yeah. No, it plays like, hey, we won our conference, but the NCAA shafted us and we can't play in the tournament. It's so stupid, but yeah, for me, it's one of those two. The other ones just seem too aggressively priced to be for me to see them actually making some noise.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said Kansas City was the 2 seed, right?
Kansas City is the 2 seed, and they're really I just can't really read them this year. They've also been a very polarizing team for me. It seems like some games they go out and I bet them and they just stomp whoever they play. They beat South Dakota State 2 weeks ago now at home. They beat them by 5. They have the ability to beat a lot of these teams in the conference. But I don't think they're going to rattle off that many in a row. They lost to Sac State too in January. So they're just all over the map. When you lose to Sac State, I don't know if I can endorse that for them to rattle off 3 straight games.
No, but it's gambling. You never know. But like you said, I think it's being a 2 seed, being priced so low. I don't know. That looks a little too easy to me. But sometimes it is that easy, I'll be the guy who bets, at Pacific plus 10. Yeah, and then they lose by 59. It's closer to 60 than 50. God, I can't wait to talk about that in great detail on Sunday.
Sunday's going to be a fun one for the recap. I'm already loading up some stuff. It's been a week.
That's going to be my header on Sunday, Pacific plus 10. All right. Any other closing thoughts?
No, that's the bulk of the mid majors that we've got. We mentioned this in the last episode too. Tomorrow is the big day for us. We got all the Power Fives tomorrow, plus the Big East, and I believe we have the Mountain West in there tomorrow too. So stay tuned for that. We'll have one more episode after that with the MEAC and SWAC and Conference USA. Just because they don't start until, I don't think they start until the 14th. So they're the last of them to go.
Quick tournaments.
So this is the last of the less interesting ones. Stay tuned for tomorrow, folks. Tomorrow is going to be a blast. We're going to have a lot of things to talk about with these big conferences. The conference tourneys and the big ones this year are going to be ridiculous.
Already excited for the A10 tournament. Very excited for the A10 tournament. I don't even know who I like yet. But all I know is I'm excited to talk about it. Then the Big East. I love the Big East. Look out for St. John's. I think they're going to sneak in.
They could.
Rick's going to wear his white suit, and the boys are going to be so fired up. Joel Soriano's going to have 2020, and life is good in Manhattan.
You heard it here first.
Don't run to the bank with that. I don't know. I don't dress Rick Pitino. That would be gross. God, if we're losing brain cells, we better wrap this up.
Yeah, that's our show, folks. Be sure to check us out on Twitter. We have a lot of stuff going on over there. Check out our website. We're pumping out blogs weekly. Make sure you like and subscribe on the YouTube. We're so we got some people clicking on over there. I think we'll see a lot more folks in these shows when we start talking about the conferences that they want to hear. I don't know how many degenerates out there are going to be tuning in to listen to us talk about the Southland in America East. But if you are here, we appreciate you.
they just want my callbacks.
They do. We appreciate you being here nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Like, subscribe, give us anything you want us to talk about, teams you want us to talk about. We're there's no rules around here. We're really just shooting it, talking about ball and claiming to know it.
Ball knower.
That's
got some key plays for you tonight, Jim. Don't you worry. 4 games, all at 8:00 Central Time. Might have a juicy dog. Let's go.
It's coming. We're about to but first pitch in some huge college baseball games coming soon. I tweeted those out earlier today, so hopefully some folks are tuning in, and that's our show. Check us out, folks. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and stay tuned.
I'm molded in these blueprints, same place you parked your car, and you were always out to get me. Back then we would play too hard, lost in my back pocket, riding in your front yard, this avenue signs a shamble.